Hiya! Hi guys, how's it going? It's another week. Figured I'm going to come back to the garden for a bit because it's been a while. We've got a bit of things that we can be doing. Make some preserves, make them the veg go a bit further. Yeah, it's seems weird to be back here. I haven't been here for a couple of weeks, so yeah, let's get started. So today, guys, I'm going to make a bit of a bad situation, make the best of a bad situation. Yeah, get there in the end. So a lot of our stuff started to bolt, which means it started to flower and seed, but due to neglect on my part, really. But what we're going to do is we're going to take those seed and flowers, and we're going to prepare them for next season. We're going to cut them back, we're going to dry them out, and we're going to make sure we've got seeds to grow, carrying on as much as we can. We're also going to make some preserves, and I've got a little bit of a disease on one of my courgettes, so we had a problem with that at Bike Garden. So I'm going to teach us how to get rid of that, because it's kind of a common problem. The minute it's powdered mildew, which is it can just spread. So we're going to get rid of that, and we're going to have some fun. Look at all of the tomatoes and the grapes. Yeah. So okay, let's get outside. Let's do some gardening, and we're going to have some print as well to go along with this. So see you there. Bye. Right, so guys, we'll start off with this bit of a disease that we're going on. It's powdered mildew, okay? So this is what it looks like. It literally just looks like a powder. With it being so windy recently, it kind of takes it and blows it across the garden. I know from experience from other gardens that it's a bit of a killer, and it gets affected the plants and takes over the leaves, and it really stops kind of the photosynthesis going on. Simply what we need to do is we just need to cut that back. You can tell what it is because if you give it a rub, it kind of disintegrates, it goes away, but we don't really want it spreading across the garden. So all you're needing to do is you need your trusty knife or some secateurs, find an affected plant, and you can see it kind of coming down the stalk. If you just take as much of that leaf off as possible and cut it back, the leaf should grow back, hopefully stronger, hopefully without this mildew on. We just want to stop it from spreading, basically. So you might feel inclined to put these in your compost bin. People say do, people say don't. I tend not to, because yeah, I just don't want to risk kind of infecting the compost. So we're just going to leave that off aside, punch it up so it doesn't blow as much. Try and get it into a bin as quickly as possible, not compost bin, but just to kind of preserve it from going away. While we're here, I figured that we might make a piccalilli for our preserve. So I'm going to need some courgettes. So bring you both closer, show us how we're done. Okay, so we have a few in here. Dun, 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 dun. So simply what you're doing, guys, to get these out is you're going to grab it from the tip, give it a twist, and there you go, there you have it. Courgette time. So we're going to get a couple of these, maybe 2 or 3 depending on the size, and then we're going to pickle these into a lovely preserve. I'm going to get some runner beans, maybe. I've got a cauliflower I'm going to get, yeah, and I'll have a recipe for you guys and show you how to do it. Okay, need some jars, sterilized jars. Okay, now what was next? Bolting, wasn't it, from seeds? Yeah, we'll do that. Right, see you soon. Oh. Right, okay guys, so this was our 8 weeks food, our plant to plate in 8 weeks. Say that quickly, plant to plate in 8 weeks. Yeah, so this is bolted. What bolted means, basically it's got a seed. It's started to grow, the seed on the top started to flower. That's not what we want, really. Means kind of to the end of the season for that growing. Usually this lasts a bit longer. I'd get charged for, they might go through winter without seeding, but I'm guessing weather conditions this year has kind of knocked that back. So what we've got is we've got spinach, and we've got the chard that's gone to seed. So what we're going to do is we're going to dry these seeds off. I'm going to teach you how to do it, and we're going to make sure that they're ready for planting further on in the season once they're dry, so we don't have to keep buying new seeds, because although it's a small amount, maybe 50p to £1, £2 a packet, that kind of builds up, doesn't it? So what you need is, you need a knife or your secateurs. I'm going to use some plastic bags, which I'm going to cover the name of, for where we get it. And yeah, this is just so you know. You need a pen as well, so you know what seeds go in what, because let's face it, they might look quite similar. So all you're doing, guys, is you're going to pick a bit of the plant which has the most seeds. I'll cut this off and see how that's it. So we're going to dry these off, we're going to stick them in a bag, and we're going to take them to a dry place, usually in your kitchen. I tend to use some twine or some string and hang them up. It also looks very nice as a little bit of decoration for the time being. So yeah, so I'm gonna keep these in my lovely bags, get some of the chard, get some spinach, and I'm gonna have a wander around because I think some of my brassicas have started to bolt as well. There was some cabbage down there, which ain't fun. So yeah, same again, we're gonna get as much of these as possible. Just simply cut them off into a bag, and then yeah, easy as that. And that keeps your plants going. I'm obviously not going to pick all of these because I'll have them. In fact, I might and just give some to you. Who knows? Be a decent shift of work, but yeah, I'm feeling charitable. But not now because it's starting to rain and I'm fighting the rain and running away from that. So yeah, so we've got our spinach, we've got some chard, and I'll go and get some cabbage as well. Yeah, so I should teach you how to get. You need some twine to kind of tie it up, and then I'll sort you out when we start doing the cooking. Catch you in the kitchen for some chutneys or some preserve making. The good thing about the preserves is that it makes your veg last a hell of a lot longer. Stick them in a jar, stick them in some pickles, some sugar, vinegar, whatnot, and then yeah, they'll last on your shelf life for however much longer. Just make sure you write down the little names and dates of what you've done. Catch you in the kitchen, guys. Okay. So I figured I'd take you for a little bit of a tour of what we've got going on. Since it's been obviously a while before we hit the kitchen, or after I've hit the kitchen, depends where I edit this into the video. So we have our greenhouse, our polytunnel, which has been, all of our tomatoes are kind of coming through. They've not started to turn red yet, but there's plenty of them. We've got some grapes. Wonder what we'll be making with that. Some nice grape juice. Yeah, we've got our little wildflower garden and some growths, some poppies, some borage, some nasturtiums, the usual. I think a lot of it's been coming out, so the potato plots kind of gone. Beautiful potatoes though. We've got some pumpkins coming down here. Some squashes over there. Our kale, my face, our kale has gone quite nicely. Loads of kale, which is cool. We've got our runner beans. Beautiful. Some apple trees, some more nasturtiums, and carrots and leeks. We figured that our carrots have been quite good this year because we've companion planted them next to leeks. So yeah, kind of keeps the carrot flies off. Or it was an experiment to see if it kept the carrot flies off, and it did. So score. Yeah, maybe we need to do that to keep the purple carrot alive, eh? So yeah, we've got quite a bit going on. It's kind of, we're harvesting quite a lot. Yeah, I've been giving loads away and stuff like that. So we've had quite an abundance of food. Yeah, so yeah, looking good. I'll bring you for a tour of the Biter Garden as well on, I'm going to say Thursday. Whatever hand gesture. Right, see you in the kitchen. In the kitchen now. Right. Okay, so we're going to have a look at making some preserves with this stuff that we've kind of been cooking up. Or not cooking up, but we've been growing, so we can cook them up. I don't know about you guys who've been gardening and growing your stuff at home. We've got like an absolute abundance of stuff. We can't give it away, so yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to make this last a lot longer, which just preserve it or pickle it, make it into jams and stuff like that. This one's going to be a piccalilli, or a take on a piccalilli. I'll put a recipe at the bottom, but yeah, we're going to do that, and well, let's get ourselves away. I also feel like if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to get myself a nice frilly pinny. Yeah. Be fun. Right, so what I did was I had some courgette from what we got from the allotment. I still got loads of it left. See the size of it. So I've chopped it up with some cauliflower, some shallots, and some nasturtium leaves, and the stalks as well. So just to give it that little bit of a peppery flavour. So I put that in some. There we go. Put it in some salt overnight, and this is going to be our big pickling container pan thing. Yeah. Yeah. So that's ding ding ding. That's been going overnight. Just to kind of draw some of the moisture out. Covered it in salt. Well, not too much salt. Again, the recipe will be down below. So yeah, we're going to get some pickling started. So what I've got here is I've got a mixture of our pickling stuff, our pickling spices. So you need some cumin seeds, some cardamom, scratch that, some coriander seeds. You crush them up with some turmeric, mustard seeds, mustard powder, and salt, pepper, and vinegar. So vinegar is going to be our key today. We also need some sugar and some honey for when we're going to be making this pickle, alright? So what you want to do is, you're going to get all of your things into here, you're mixing into here. You also need about 10 teaspoons of flour. I have this fancy little thing that tells me what everything is. What is the flour? So just here, flour, do you see it? Magical. So that's in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to mix that up in a pan and just make it into get all this stuff together, and use a bit of your vinegar just so it comes into a bit of a paste. There's my vinegar. So I've got a mixture between malt vinegar and cider vinegar. Alright, I'm going to do about 50-50. You need about 600 mils. One of these bottles is 500, cover the name, yeah, as always. 500 mils, yeah, there we go at the back. So yeah, we're going to kind of mix this in so it's into a nice paste. And yeah, stick it on the heat. I don't know about you guys as well, but you can tell who's been cooking in our house because you have a favourite hob. My favourite hob's the bottom right, it always has been, regardless of what cookery I'm working on. I don't know why. So yeah, I'm going to kind of get this into a paste and get it to what it should look like for you. I'll speed up the video and catch you in a sec. Right? Okay, so what I've done is, guys, I have rinsed off these lovely veg, get rid of all of the salt. This is what our paste should look like. It's quite thick and the viscosity is magical. So yeah, what we wanted to do is we've got 150 grams of sugar. That needs to be added in, and if you were somewhere really clever, you'd know where you put it. 150 grams of sugar. So that's going to go in with 5 tablespoons of honey. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. With the rest of the vinegar, I can live in the honey for a short while. And we're going to bring that to the boil. Okay. So yeah, this is a really great way of you guys keeping your veg going for as long as possible. It's super tasty. You need to make sure you sterilise your jars properly first, which you just add really, really hot water to it, close to boiling, and kind of wait for a bit until it sterilises it and gets rid of all the germs in it, which what we don't want. So there we have it. We've got our our vinegar going. Brains in separate places. So bring that to the boil, and what we're going to do is slowly add some of the veg to it, along with the pickle paste. Yeah. So going to take a couple of minutes for that to boil. So yeah, you can pretty much add any veg you want to this piccalilli. It doesn't have to necessarily be a piccalilli. I think a lot of them kind of come from sugar and pickle, or sugar and vinegar, and it's just preserving your veg in that in a jar or in a sealed container they can last months and months and months on end. This is the kind of time we start to do it, especially early autumn time when the full harvest is coming up. Yeah, and the guys at the garden have been kind of doing these for the past couple of weeks, so I figured give the rest of you a chance to make it. Yeah, so this is going to boil away. I'm going to add more of the paste to it, and yeah, get the flavours going. Catch us in a sec. Okay, so this is starting to boil now. It's going to get really hot. You're going to really want to taste it because it'll smell awesome. It always smells awesome, but will burn your tongue, so don't. I've learned that lesson so many times. So what I'm doing is I'm just getting a ladle filled, just to add to the paste, just to loosen it up a bit, just before I add the paste into the mix, or the vinegar and honey mix and sugar. Yeah, just loosens it up a bit just so I can get all of this out. So yeah, I'm going to stick this in and get ready to slowly mix in our veg, which was our courgette, our nasturtiums, our shallot and cauliflower. Yeah. So while that's going, I've sterilised a pretty hefty sized jar, so hopefully it might it'll fit all into that. If not, I've got some more sterilising over there, so fear not. So what you want to do is you just want to mix this up so it's all a smooth consistency on a lowish heat. Vinegar hurts your eyes. Yeah, and then we're going to stir in the vegetables. Catch you in a sec. So I needed to turn on the extractor fan. Pickled in the eyes, don't look over it. Okay, so what we've got is, we've got a bit that's been on the heat for about 4 or 5 minutes, been coming to boil. So next we need to do is we need to remove it from the heat and then just literally, slowly, close it up, just fold in the vegetables that you've cut. So, short handful at a time. And what you'll see is that it will, over time, slowly turn that bright yellowy turmeric colour. Turmeric, we'll go with that. Yeah, and that's pretty much ready to go into our jars. It's a nice view of that. So, what you do is you're going to just mix that in. Better view. Mix that in all together, and yeah, over time it'll just usually wait for about 6 weeks maybe. The longer it waits, or the longer it sits, the better it gets basically. So yeah, once you've done that, you're going to carefully spoon it into your jars, and voila, our pickling is complete. Pickle season, always fun to do. So yeah, I've used kiln the jars, but you can use any jar that you've got kicking around the house, as long as it's sterilised. Stick a little note on it of the date that you made it, and you are good. And if you're making a mess like me, to go. I mean, if I was clever, I'd make a siphon, but I ain't, so I didn't. Okay, so guys, that's it. That's our pickle lily. That'll turn that beautifully bright orange, yellowy colour that will go. Yeah, so that was basically it. Just a way to preserve your food. get some recipes going. Like I say, you can put literally any food into any veg into preserve. You can make jams. Or using fruits, you can make chutneys. You can make any preserve. Guys, it's been quite fun to come back to the garden. So I might do another one of these soon enough. If you show us what you've been making, show us what you've been growing. There's another art video coming along as well, so watch out for that. Mick, well done, super proud, and I'll see you guys later on. I'm gonna eat some chutney. Yeah, bye, all me loves.